Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Exploring Avatar. As always, I'm not on my own. We got my friend Drew here. Drew, how you doing, man?
Doing good, Jerry. Nice to see everybody in the chat.
Thanks for joining, everybody. Finally, we have gotten to Volume 2 of The High Ground. I know it's kind of late. A lot of you probably have read it, but hey, blame the crazy release schedule and then the movie came out and it's just a lot of stuff. But hey, we finally got here. Let's start our 2 to 3 part journey. We don't know how long it's going to be, maybe 3 parts. We'll take our time with it. But yeah, it should be fun. I mean, I love doing the ones for volume 1 and 3. One more than 3, at least for my personal opinion. I enjoyed 1 a lot more. I think it's just because 3 was just a lot of action. I'm sure it was the third act, all the action you want, but we missed the crucial second act. So we're finally getting it to it now, Drew. But yeah, man, should be fun.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and something we mentioned off air is just how much we both really like this artistic style to start off this book.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. So we'll dive in just a second, but first, of course, say hi to people in the chat. We have Brendan Lewis, Afton Child, as always, Brianna Brown, Juan, Shadow Knight, Christina. Hello to everybody. Thank you, whether it's nighttime, morning, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, how you guys been this past week? It's kind of fun to just now we're starting to be consistent again every Friday, man. So it's I'm looking forward to it now every week. So we're on that train again. So it's good.
Yeah, it feels good to be back and talking Avatar again consistently. Even though maybe they're not a lot of new stuff happening just right now, we still got some fun stuff planned out over the next few weeks.
Exactly. This one should last, like we said, 2 or 3 parts, probably 3. And then honestly, we're probably going to go into Taruk the First Flight. So that should be fun as well. Another, story based streams right there as well. For anybody that, hasn't experienced it or doesn't know that story, we'll do our best to present it to you. We know it was a live show and everything, but, we'll do our best with we got the script for it and things like that. So we'll try to make that pretty entertaining for you guys as well. So yeah, man, it's a 2 story based, type of streams to probably get us through the next month or so. So should be good. Maybe some little nuggets of news along the way. If not, hey, we got it covered. So, but yeah, let's whenever you guys are ready, we'll start diving into volume 2 of The High Ground. Anything else you'd like to add before we do, Drew?
Well, I saw Britannia Brown said that she actually hadn't even read this yet, so that'll be cool. I'm sure there's several people that haven't.
Yeah, I will lift up my hand. I honestly, I've been waiting to kind of just read through it live with all of you guys because I think that's the most fun. How we did 1 and 3. So I actually will experience it live with you guys as well. I just put it together. I've seen just skimming through it, putting the slides together, but I didn't read any of the text or anything. So yeah, man, I'm excited to also experience it for myself. Because this was the part that I was actually getting really excited for when we left volume 1. We were, the promise of this, all this space battle, and the RDA was, just about to arrive again and everything. So it was getting really interesting. So I'm hoping to see some of those payoffs throughout this volume. All right, so what I'll do is bring up a little synopsis that is actually found just on the back of the book, just so everybody's kind of on the same page before we start diving into it. So obviously here's the cover. We're covering volume 2 of The High Ground. I think out of the 3 covers, this one was my favorite. Just because it was, especially when they were first revealed it, I know it was just the fandom was going kind of nuts. So what's going on with the Na'vi in space? So But yeah, it's my favorite of the three, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a wild cover for sure when I first saw it. Definitely didn't like it when I first saw it, but having read volume two, I thought it was a great volume, so no complaints anymore.
Awesome. All right, so just a quick little synopsis. Volume 2 enters parts of the Avatar universe never anticipated. The Sky People are heading to Pandora with an armada of starships, but Jake Sully and the Navi are ready for them. Knowing this day would come, Jake has trained his Navi warriors with a plan that should make it too costly for the humans to try again, if the plan works. All right, so with that little setup, and I believe the way Volume 1 ended, wasn't it with they were sending the first transmissions, right? And then General Ardmore issued that threat, like basically any of the remaining humans that stayed behind, they could defect if they wanted to, but if not, it was going to be like all out war. So I believe that's where we kind of left off.
Yeah, I believe that is exactly where we left off.
All right. So I'll start with our first little slide here. We start with the kids sleeping in the hammocks. So you got Jake again. When I was a Marine, I had nothing to lose except my legs. As it turned out, by a miracle, here on Pandora, I got them back. Now I'm no longer a Marine, and I've got everything to lose. It's time to make our own miracle. All right, so now Jake and Neytiri, even if Yeyatle and some of the other Oloektans don't see it, this is our one chance to stop this war before it starts. The warriors trust you, Jake. They will follow you to the black world or anywhere you say. Honestly, I'd forgotten that they named space the black world. I had forgotten that from volume 1 already.
Yeah, the first time I read that, I was like, "The Black World? What? What? What kind of weird stuff is this?" But yeah,
Uh, this silly release schedule. Oh man, I hated it. It was such a headache. All right. And what if I'm wrong, Neytiri? The last time the people followed me, most of them died. Your hands are shaking. The great Taruk Makto, I never wanted this. Come, sleep. Tomorrow is tomorrow. All right. Oh, that's a cool shot right there. I like that we get to see like more of the ones that stayed behind. They have some cool equipment too, amp suits, cool little vehicle there in the back. That's pretty cool, man.
yeah, it's kind
What's
of cool seeing how much stuff that they still have. I never really thought about them keeping amp suits or any of the weapons per se, other than like personal weapons. So it is nice seeing this is not just a ragtag group. I mean, they have a lot of the might the RDA had.
Yeah, and I guess it explains that they do have these little facilities that could have housed the suits that they're going to use to go to space. So I guess I like that it kind of establishes that, like you say, it doesn't just look like ragtag. All right. Meg, we're behind the timeline. Explosives are rushing. Not good, bedfellows. I've got 8 tons of blasting compound in this building alone. You've got 2 hours. You're the boss. Cool little thumbs up. And here we got Norm. This is really happening. This is it.
I love this panel right here showing like how much taller Jake is than human norm. Like Jake's head's not even fully in the panel.
But Norm says, yeah, hold my beer. I have an avatar body and I got 28 kids and my family is bigger than yours. Oh my god! So you can't say nothing. All right. Oh, I like that panel there with the dire horses there. Is that the last of it? Yes. Children, grab your packs. Father, do not send me to the high camp like a child. I am ready to fight. Forget it, boy. You're going to the mountains with everybody else. Son, I need you to take care of your sisters and little brother while your mother and I are on the mission. We can't let what happened at the War Council happen again. No, sir. Keep them safe.
You know, it's nice knowing, since we've seen the movie, what the high camp is. And it's also nice seeing Natam, alive again.
Yes, yes. It hits different now. Now that we know some of the stuff, but yeah, like you said, like we'll catch little things that are like, oh, I know what they're talking about. The high camp, like that little inside of the mountain up in the Hallelujah Mountains. Pretty cool. All right, fall in, Sullies. All right, what do we say when packing up? Guard your gack. That's right, guard your gack. Your gack is your stuff. What the? Am I saying that? I'm saying that right, right?
As far as I know.
Okay. I didn't know if you were laughing because I was saying it wrong or something.
No,
Nope.
no. I just feel like when I was a kid, there was some kind of slime or something called gack, but I think it was GAK. Maybe I don't know. And just guard your gack. That's just funny.
I've never heard of that in like military terms, but hey, I've never been in, so obviously. But all right, nobody's responsible for your stuff but you. Let's see here. Sorry, I just gotta adjust some things. Loak, let's go. Get it done. You're holding up the whole squad. This is hard enough on them, Jake. We are not a squad. We are a family. Hey, way of water. Well, today we're a squad. We're gonna think and act as one. Right, Tuk Tuk? And now we've seen like this kind of play out in the movie as well, so at least you can kind of see the consistency there, that how he was like basically running the family right now.
Hey, and before we move too far, I wanted to read straight out of the dictionary what the meaning of gack was. Number one meaning is cocaine. Number two is a sticky or messy substance. So, I guess that is a military jargon. It's something I'd never heard, but interesting nonetheless. But yes, the number one meaning of that is cocaine, which I don't think applies here.
Oh, well, thank you for that, Drew.
Absolutely.
God. The stream just went downhill.
I don't know. It puts a whole new spin on it. Guard your gack.
Oh, God. Kids, get your magic powder. Let's go. Oh, God. Loak's like, hold on. I gotta get some things. Hold on. All right. Yes, sir. See, I'm just trying to keep the mood upbeat. Hey, us too. You are not succeeding. Wow, we're probably failing too. I'm doing my best here. Everyone, let's move out. Wait a minute. Where's Kiri? Always running off. She left. God damn it. What part of evacuation don't people understand? Oh,
Jerry, you holding it together there, all right, buddy?
it's all the
You're
gack,
just thinking
man.
about
It's all the
you're
gack.
thinking about Spider hauling a bunch of gack right there, aren't you? It's funny though, we do see Spider and Kiri once again. Those two are pretty inseparable.
Yep. She's like, we gotta go. Max says I have to stay with the McCoskers. Oh my god, forget the McCoskers. Nope, you gotta stay with your family. That's me, Spider. War orphans have got to stick together. Yes, sir. Where the hell do you think you're going, Miles? Don't make me do this the hard way. Kiri, we have to go. Let go of me. Spider should come with us. He can't. The McCoskers are on the surrender list. Didn't we know he was gonna surrender?
Yep.
Please, Mr. Sully. You can kind of tell at the end of Volume 1. Dang McCosker.
Yeah, I don't like that guy at all.
Look, Jake, it's nothing personal. It's just Mary and I have the kids. It's not safe out here for a little human, you know. Sure, no hard feelings. We've all got families to think of. Let go of me. Kiri, you need to calm down. Mr. Sully, I've got my Oh my god. Just when I had pulled it together.
Jerry, I feel like you've gotten into the gack a little too much before tonight's show.
All right, all right. Here you all right, where am I? All squared away and everything. Zilla's your guardian. He'll take care of you. No, please. We're his family. No, daughter, we are not. Kiri, don't touch me. Give her time. Time? We're evacuating. Sure. I'd give any of my kids anything. But first, we've got to give them a future. Kiri, Kiri. I want to fly with Kiri. Is everything alright, child? I'm fine. Just sad to leave. One thing you will learn as you get older, everything changes. And change is what we make of it. Will you watch over Tuktiri for me? Yes, grandmother. Hooray! Back to volume 3 sound effects. Don't start.
Screech.
She's pointing at the next one, the next sound effects blurb. There you are, Mom and Dad. We're pissed. Yeah, I know. Where's Neytiri? He must have gone ahead. Let's go. Once again, the Metkayina, my people, had been displaced multiple generations without a true home because of greed, because of the RDA. I was going to make damn sure it didn't happen again. Well, right here before we continue, I do like that they address, because before reading this, remember we had talked about where we were kind of like wondering if anything from the other comic series before like really mattered, because it seemed in the other series that the humans were, had taken over Hell's Gate, and like the Metkayina had actually moved like right outside its borders. So I like that it is addressed that they did move from there to High Camp, that where we do catch up with them in like the Way of Water, because we were kind of like, wait, I thought they were all like located over here. Remember? So
yeah, I do. I was glad to see that too. It helps make the comics feel a little bit more real, or like they matter a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
And
yeah, man, the art is really good. I'm like really liking the art.
Absolutely. And this isn't a joke or anything, but I actually haven't been able to find anything about GAC as far as like a military term. So like I actually am confused about that.
Chat,
obviously it just means like there's supplies. but I have no idea like why that word was chosen. I mean, I just can't find anything.
Oh, this is like God. Volume one gives us the conundrum of like so many panels of Norm with like so many different kids. This one gives us the freaking Gak dilemma. Like, what's going on? Anybody in the chat? Do you guys? Because Drew is very concerned. Obviously, he's not even paying attention. He's over here doing research.
I'm
Uh,
not concerned, but like when the literal meaning of gack in the Webster dictionary is cocaine, and then I can't find anything about a military meaning to it. It's just kind of strange.
now it just paints the rest of the Avatar saga in like a whole new light. I love it. Brandon Lewis is like, Drew, you good?
Yeah, dude. I believe that's Jerry. That's not good. Drew's good.
Uh, so Drew is the one doing research. Jerry's the one that just can't even read because he's just laughing too much. Maybe it's a Navi word. See, maybe, but I think that they would have had the. Usually, they do the little. What do they call them? The little symbols, the little stars thingy.
Oh
How
yeah, I know you're
they're
talking
doing
about
it
like
right now.
showing that they're translating from not V.
Yeah, exactly. After child, just say it's cocaine because I don't even know what the word is and what it means.
It is not a not V word. I can tell you that.
My God, you live in a library or something? What's going on?
It's a yeah. I don't, obviously, it just meant their stuff, but that's just I would kind of like further explanation about that. So
When we
maybe
have
we can reach out to the writer.
uh when we have a future guest on, we'll have to ask him. Josh Izzo, what's going on here, bro? All right, we'll continue. Sorry for holding up the story, guys, but hey, you guys liking it so far? I'm actually really liking it.
This
All
panel
right.
doesn't fit very good because just how it's laid out versus YouTube, but this is a just awesome panel. Excuse me. Awesome panel. Like if you have the book or buy it digitally.
Yeah. Oh, the two. Yeah, I had to split it just because of the text, because it would have been so tiny for me to read live, or for anybody that was like actually wanting to read it while they're following along. But yeah, it's a great like full page art. All right, let's see. Okay. Where you are going, Awa cannot help you. She is in our hearts. She strengthens our hands. You must purify your spirit. We have to purify our bodies and our spirits before we touch steel. Huh. Weapons of metal are forbidden by Awa. The people believe their poison seeps into the heart. Pain of the flesh reminds us that every round we fire takes a bite from our soul. Oh wow! So you gotta like stab yourself with the quill. Jesus!
Yeah, that's rough. Like
Holy moly!
it's
Pain
interesting the
connects us to why we
sacrifice
fight.
that Jake's willing to go through just to use, his firearms.
Oh my god! So this is Jake, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that's insane. So we never forget what they did to us. Wow, that's an insane panel, man. See, I like here they kind of give some kind of context like that, because obviously, like in the movies, we just see they're just dealing with weapons like like nothing. But here, they really depicted like no, in order to him to freely have a weapon, he kind of had to do this before. So it's pretty interesting, man, that they would like you know put context to that in here.
And it's no wonder Neytiri didn't want anything to do with him, and she sticks with her traditional bow. But I mean, it's also understandable why Jake would, because he's comfortable with it. But it's cool to see that he makes a real sacrifice to use those weapons.
Yeah. So what we lost forever, and what they can never take away. And then he just tells Neytiri, "I love you so much." Pre-flight's done. We're ready when you are. Josh, good to go. I need these Samsums out of here. Full evac, except for your team. Go building to. Oh, go. Oh, okay. He was going to say go building to building, and then he just got interrupted. Okay. Jake, I've got this. Right. And my kids rolled with the villagers to the mountains. Moat's got them. You know that for sure? Jake, launch windows closing. We gotta go. And there we go. The shuttle's starting to take off. And it's still weird seeing him in like if I go back, just seeing him in those spacesuits, man. It's kind of weird to see them in those still.
It is.
Like I still can't picture it
It's,
like in the movie.
yeah, it's definitely just nothing like we've seen before, since they're almost completely naked normally.
Yeah. What are we doing here? Kiri, we can't get in trouble again. Dad will kill me. I don't think praying is going to do much against starships. Only Awa can save us, says Tuktiri. Main engine start in 3, 2, 1, ignition. And then just ships rumbling. Oh, look at that. McFarlane, RDA, well, not RDA, but pilots. Those would be great to get for the new amp suit in Wave 2 and the crab suit. Just saying, Todd McFarlane.
He's definitely not listening right now.
Oh no, he's in the everybody is the winter showcase here at McFarlane Toys. All right.
Again, though, the second half of this page is some really awesome looking art.
Oh yeah. That's what is that? Like Moat down there kind of looking at him. I think, or just maybe a
Yeah,
random.
that's who I took it as.
Yeah, I think for sure out of the 3 volumes, this is my favorite art so far. Because especially after watching the movie, like it really does. They do really like look like the characters, like Kiri, Netayam, all that, Jake, and everything. So it's really good. Kiri,
Something I kind of thought of too is, even though Neytiri or some of the others may not carry actual weapons, I mean, they're flying in a metal ship now.
uh oh, we got to go back and she's got to do that thing too. No.
Yeah, she's got to bump some gack and hang from a tree. I mean, if she wants to ride in that shuttle.
You think you get a free ride? What's going on here? I'm going back to get Spider. Oh my god. What? That's a bad idea. Dad's gonna freak out. Kiri, I'm not leaving him. Take Took, go to high camp, go on. Kiri, wait. This is bad. Great panel. It was on now. No turning back. We were going up against 10 starships with bows and arrows. They're armed to the teeth, missile batteries, gun emplacements here and here. Even the shuttles are well armed. Just run the plays like we practice. But we trained for one ship, not 10. Then we improvise. Right. Unidentified shuttle. Know your closing rate immediately or you will be fired upon. Get out of sight. Let's do this. This is Jake Sully speaking on behalf of I know who you are. I'm not finished, General. I'm speaking on behalf of the Navi Council of Oloektans and the remaining citizens of Pandora. You are trespassing. Sully, I don't care about your ratbag council of spiritual.
Hateful. Hateful.
Oh, these words are just getting me today. I apologize. uh, Council of
Jerry, you
Spear
alright there,
Chuckers.
bud?
Yeah. Or your terrorist pals at Hell's Gate. I'm here to restore the rule. Oh my god. The rule of law on Pandora, and I will do that swiftly and decisively, starting with the destruction of your vehicle. They've got missile lock on us, all 10 ships. Damn. Well, General, you might want to check this out first. Here's the factory complex, not such a good angle, but that's about 10 tons of blasting compound. That's the refinery, the grinder. Are you getting this? We're getting it. Oh, look, now there's two people floating. Then you see, you hit this shuttle, they blow everything. You send a landing force, they blow everything. Man, this back and forth is actually pretty dope.
It is. I like, I mean, it's a comic, but like Ardmore's bringing it, I obviously can't
Yeah,
stand her, but like you can tell there's real stakes going on here.
not just like sipping a mug on her exoskeleton.
Right.
Uh, Let me tell you how this plays out. You burn those assets, and I kill everyone on the ground. Everyone. Kids, pregnant women, grandma and her rocker. Dang. No, actually, here's how it plays out. We dock, we talk now, or it goes boom. We're going to talk? How many on board? Josh, our pilot, and my wife. Neytiri does. Okay, we're not doing that. Representing the Navi people. Great, I'd love to meet the little lady. Hold at 10 clicks and we'll send a shuttle. Well, you called it, boss. They couldn't resist getting their hands on both of you. Yeah, that's the first step. Let's hope the rest goes just as well. Dang, Norm rocking the headband and everything. I love a suicide mission as much as the next guy. I say we hit him now. This is not a guy you negotiate with. No, we need that infrastructure in one piece. Can we try for a treaty? No promises. General, we're being hailed from Hell's Gate. on screen. Oh, McCosker. General Ardmore, this is Nash McCosker at Hell's Gate. We received your message. You've got a deal. I don't know what happened. Thank you, Mr. McCosker. I look forward to shaking your hand when all this is over. Once the base is secured, Sully's all yours.
I knew I didn't like that guy.
Wow. He went complete
Betrayer.
180. And I don't like the name Nash, so it makes it worse. Let's see. All right, we got Kiri messing around again. What are you doing here, idiot? We weren't going to let you do something this crazy on your own. So you brought the baby with you? I'm not a baby. Told you to go to high camp. Spider's our brother, too. Well, we'd better hurry. We're running out of time. 2-minute warning, Jake. My brothers and sisters, this is the day. For 7 years, we've been training for this hour. We all carry the pain, all the loved ones we lost. Today is for them, and for our children, and every future generation. Today, we stop the Sky People before they set foot on our world again. And everybody says, hoorah!
You know, that's some
And,
dedication to train for that for 7 years.
and to be continued, guys. To be continued. So, what did you all think? What did you all think? I know it cut off right before the battle, but I mean, come on, can't do everything in one little.
If we're going to get cut off right before the battle, we better not leave these fine people waiting. We better be back next week, same time.
Oh, of course, of course. And trust me, it was a cliffhanger for myself as well. I'm like, dang it, uh, dang it, Drew. But honestly, what do you guys think so far?
I think this is a great volume. Like, it just kind of gets right to the point. Good action. Lots of backstory. Just very good volume.
Brendan Lewis, darn right, you better be back next week. We will, we will. I mean, we gotta. Like I said, it takes a while to make all these. I can't really do like, the slides for like half the book and just in just one time. It's like too many slides for the thing, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. We're not done like talking. We can still talk for a minute because we still have like things we can talk about. But still, it's yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'll probably pad it out a little bit more next time. So we'll probably either finish it next time. Possibly if I can fit it all in there, we'll probably just finish it. That way, you get all the battle and the resolution just next week. So, but yeah, honestly, yeah, like Brianna Brown says, I love this volume so far. Like, yeah, me too, man. And especially in this one, now that we've seen the movie, like the characters, it's like pretty much a carryover. Like that's how they are in the movie. That's how Jake is, even with his family in the Way of Water. Kiri's the same way, like very protective of Spider and everything. You know, but yeah, so I really like the feeling, especially after watching the movie, that it really is just really connected.
It's kind of, I don't know if cool's the right word, but it's interesting to see Nash McCosker show his true colors. Like, he's always just kind of been hateful. Like, he seems like he's on Jake's side, but he's always just been a jerk. So that's kind of finally get to see who he really is. And also, there's actually 3 artists in Volume 2. And so we only have one more page of this artist, and then we go to the next one. And I think the next one's art might be even better.
Oh no! See, I I didn't know that. I cut this artist off a page a page early. No. Um. Oh, but that's cool. So just like in volume 3, I think it was that it kind of changed. I don't remember if volume 1 really changed artist. For some reason, I remember that as like one artist throughout, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it's just still good to see a lot of different, artists giving their take on Avatar. So, yeah, I like this first one in this book, and you say we get two more, so it'll be good to see their takes on it. But yeah, so far so good, man. Uh, we have a question: do we think eventually they will even have ships for Navi defending Pandora, since they cannot solely defend against with arrows and bows, given how advanced the human race is? I mean, I think we've seen the Way of Water. I mean, eventually it just becomes more of like, war on the ground on Pandora, or at least like on the planet. So not doesn't really. I mean, who knows? Maybe a future movie can introduce some of this space battle stuff again, like from the comics. But at least so far, the movies just kind of hint that it's just going to stay like, within the Pandora itself, like on the moon itself. Unless you have a different take, Drew.
Well, I think the comics. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because the comics can explore some things maybe that they can't or they don't want to get into for the movies. But this was based off of a scriptment for Avatar 2 from James Cameron, so I don't know. It really just depends what way they want to take the movies. It'll be interesting. I mean, we don't even know if we'll ever see the Na'vi in space in the movies. I mean, there's just really no telling.
We know they will travel through space at least, so maybe not like completely like in the vacuum of space in like with spacesuits fighting, but we at least know because they have said, at least for what in my opinion, I think they've talked a little too much about what to already expect in the future movies, like already giving us some plot points for number 5, like confirming that we will go to Earth, which I'm assuming that means because how they talked about how it would affect Neytiri. I am assuming that the Na'vi, like our protagonists that we're following, are going to go to Earth. So they'll at least travel through space.
Something also to note is we still haven't seen any recoms.
Huh. And I know you know the answer to this for the rest of the volume, but is it kind of hint? Oh, you know what? Maybe don't say. But 'cause I'm assuming they're not really going to come into play, but at least it'd be nice if they can kind of hint at them, like a panel kind of shows you that they are transporting like their, the recoms themselves, like their own type of avatar bodies, basically. So that'd be a cool little Easter egg for the Way of Water. Let's see here. Brendan Lewis, Neytiri better send Ardmore back where she came from. I don't like that lady one bit. I like that honestly the comic is making her seem like very like a very good antagonist. Like it's kind of what they've hinted at with the promotion leading up to the Way of Water. We just didn't see it in that movie itself. So it really makes me excited to in the future, like somebody mentioned here, like, oh man, General Ardmore might be a major threat for Avatar 3. It really does look like it, man. It really looks like she is very intimidating. We just didn't really get that in the Way of Water, at least hinted at yet, like in movie form. But yeah, it's good to see that here in the comic at least.
Something we mentioned on last week's show is we were hoping to see some new McFarlane toys because McFarlane's having their winter showcase this week, which I believe should be wrapped up now, but we haven't seen anything new yet, so we'll just have to keep waiting.
Yeah, that was really disappointing. Yeah, you're right. We brought that up last stream that, hopefully, fingers crossed that they did show something. Really, I think they only really showed like 3 or 4 different lines, if I'm not mistaken. It might have just been one line a week, so it was kind of like a not a really great showcase. But yeah, no Avatar figures, so that's disappointing because that is kind of showing what they have coming up. Not even just in the next month or two, because some of these don't release till maybe like the summer. So that really means that another wave of Avatar figures, if still this year, it's probably not till like at least the fall. And that's if that, we'll have to see in their summer showcase if they kind of give us a hint of what's coming in the fall and towards the end of the year. So, and it's really disappointing, like you said, because there's a lot of potential, a lot of characters we still would want from the first movie, and so many that people love from the second movie. We have no kids, no, pretty much other than Jake and Neytiri, we only have Tonowari. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
a little
like,
disappointing.
and now I'm totally gonna need a spider with his bag of gags. So like, come on, McFarlane, you're just falling behind here.
That little accessory piece, just the
Get your
the
gag
bag of
packs.
gag. It's like, what is that? It's like, just don't worry about it.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, Juan says like she isn't present enough. The comic, sure, but so far, it's pretty much been on Quaritch. Yeah, it seems that's the thing with the Way of Water. It was just they kept it kind of personal between just like the Quaritch hunting down the Solis, and pretty much at the end we didn't really get a full on battle, between like the RDA forces and the Metkayina with the Solis. It was more like they've described it like a skirmish between her Ardmore just kind of giving them a couple ships, like the one of the big ships, and a couple the his recoms obviously and things like that. So we kind of just got a skirmish, which with how epic it was, it's it's cool to be like, oh, that was just a skirmish. So imagine in either 3 or 4 when we finally get these full on like General Ardmore, you know battle against Jake Sully's forces type of thing. Those are probably going to be like really intense and pretty epic. Let's see here. Let's see. Go watch Taruk the First Flight on YouTube. It's on their Cirque du Soleil channel. They have like just a really condensed. I don't think it's the full thing. They used to have it, but I think it's not like on there anymore on their official channel. And all there is there now, it's like a very condensed version of it that doesn't
Yeah, it
tell
looks like
the
a 60-minute special, but I believe it has some other shows on there as well.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, cool, here it is. But I think the Avatar portion or the Taruk the First Flight is only like maybe 15, 20 of that. And then it transitions into other shows. And I was like, oh, so it's a very, condensed, truncated version of it. So we'll present you guys with, like you said, as good as we can with pictures and things like that. We have some of the Drew was kind enough to send me like the program that you could get during the show, and then he has access to like the actual script of the show. So when we get to that, we will present like the full story with the all the dialogue that is said and everything. So we'll try our best with that right there. But Drew, Brennan says no more Pandoran crack for you, man.
All right, I'll try to lay off that, bud. Jerry, you have the whole movie, don't you?
Oh yes, yes. He also sent me over the flash drive with the movie. We can't play it, obviously, but we're gonna do our best to present it when we get to that, as good as we can, without obviously, because of copyright, we can't just actually show the full thing. So, Can't wait to see the characters for Avatar 3. Yeah, very curious about that. And wondering if it's going to be another one where we're not going to get to the point where like the third act is the full on battle yet. I think it might still be some kind of smaller skirmish again between some of these, maybe the fire tribe and our protagonists that we're following, the Solis and the Metkayina, maybe something like that, or the RDA against the fire tribe, like you said. I mean, the he said the purpose is to show the Navi now in the negative light, which he hasn't done before, and then the humans in a positive light. So I'm sure not Ardmore in a positive light, but probably maybe starting to give us hint that some of the other people aren't completely on board with how they're going about things, which we kind of hinted at before, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen humans be in a positive light to some degree already. You know, Trudy, Norm.
Yeah,
I mean, even Jake.
Norm. Yeah,
Before, you know, he became basically not V. But it's going to be interesting to see not V that we don't like or relate to or are cheering for certain humans over them. So it must be it must be a bad clan, man. I'm really curious, like what they do to cause that.
yeah, exactly. Um, like I mentioned before, on the top of my head, it I can think that they're cut off from Awa, and then they probably feel just scorned by other Nabi tribe and things like that, where it's kind of like they just have this built up animosity towards other tribes, and that's why they're going to be painted in a negative light. Who knows if they stay that way? But it could be, a new home for Quaritch, because we can assume he's going back to the RDA. But what if he decides to kind of go rogue for a minute? Kind of, uh, you know, go native as he Stephen Lang has mentioned. So
Yeah, he very well could link up with the tribe and get them to, partner up with him to accomplish his goals, which his goals might change, but right now they're to kill Jake. So,
yeah. Oh, and Juan brings up here. Have y'all heard of James receiving feedback from those who watched the second movie once or more in how they can improve the next movie? Got news from Avatar Theory Channel. Yeah, so I guess they held in, believe he said it was in Burbank. They mentioned that they held like a little screening of Avatar: The Way of Water, and they took out, I think it was like 20 or so fans. I mean, I don't know where they picked them or how the criteria was, because I didn't really hear it from, you know, nobody that I have talked to. At least has said that they were a part of it. So I don't know how they kind of, searched them out. But yeah, they kind of held a little conversation where he was trying to get some feedback on two, and then how he can kind of improve three. But when I mentioned this to Drew, he made a good point. He said, um, Avatar 2 becomes the third highest grossing movie of all time, and he's trying to get feedback for how to improve it. It's like, I think you got the formula, man. I think I think you got the formula to the Krabby Patty. So I think you're
yeah, I
good.
mean, that's a side we've never seen from James Cameron before, right? Like asking fan feedback for how to improve his films. Very, very strange. I'm not saying that's a bad thing by any means. Obviously, he wants to do right by us, but very strange coming from him.
Yeah, but hey, it could. I'm curious to see after three comes out, like what little tweaks here and there were maybe caused by some of the feedback he did receive. So it'd be kind of interesting to see that, because I know he did mention, or the trades were reporting, that James Cameron had said he was gonna like catch up with these people after they see Avatar 3 to kind of see, like, hey, you know, kind of catch up and see, like, did you like it, and things like that. So it'd be cool to see. what he does change, if anything.
I think I'd feel better about it if we knew of like some of the people that were part of that. Like you already mentioned, like where'd they come up with these people? Are they like hardcore Avatar fans or just kind of some randoms or what? But I haven't heard of anybody in the
Yeah,
community that was part of that, so just curious.
yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, like I said, I think they already have the winning formula, so they're good. But yeah, I mean, any constructive criticism that can come from it, and him be like, that's kind of cool. Like he didn't see, things from that certain angle, and now it kind of opened a new idea. So that'd be cool. Not just for three, but maybe little seed of something that can alter maybe four and five, things like that. Not necessarily change the stories because we know the stories are kind of locked, the scripts are done, but just little just minor tweak here and there because we do know that from feedback he did see of Avatar 2. He said a Loak, he's going to tweak that a little bit for 3, kind of punch it up, and now he did confirm he is going to be like the what was it, the narrator, right? He's going to be the narrator for Avatar 3.
Yeah, exactly.
So he did kind of see already what some of the positive feedback was coming out of Way of Water. And I will say, yeah, like Loak was a standout in this movie for sure.
Yeah, you could tell they're definitely pushing towards Loak. I think kind of taking that Jake role in the future.
Let's see. Trying to answer fan criticism and please everyone didn't work. So great for the new Star Wars trilogy. Every new movie took a 180 and had awkward lines justifying stuff. Well, that one, I completely different, like, can of worms there. That was literally, they were just the playbook on what not to do. And trust me, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I think Drew is as well. Like, I'll forever be a Star Wars fan, but they came at that trilogy like the completely wrong way. It was, we want to do 3 movies, but they didn't actually, where was your writers room that came up with your three act structure? Like they didn't actually come up with the story beforehand, so it was just this little like this game of like tag between the directors. And then the third direct, because it was supposed to be Colin Trevorrow doing episode 9, not J.J. Abrams coming back. So it was just kind of like well, let you reverse some things in number 8 that I did in 7, and now let me reverse them again in number 9. It just, you could just clearly see that that's what not to do. what never to do anymore is not have a pre laid out story. So to hear that the Avatar sequels not only did that, like they mapped out the full story, they even already completed the scripts 100% before they even started filming 2. So that's good that you won't run into that problem.
Yeah, we won't get a Ryan Johnson coming in the middle of this and trying to change everything, which just really wrecked that trilogy.
Love his stuff outside of it. Like, was I soured on him for a little bit? And that's just me. There are people that did love what he did, so I'm not going to
No,
discount them. Art is subjective, but at least for me, I did not like the direction of 8 at all.
I can't even
And
watch that
things that were,
movie.
and, dude, I came out of 7 just like it was such a fun ride. Yeah, some of it was repetitive. It was like basically like a very similar to episode 4 in ways with like the Death Star trench run and everything. But it was still like it was just fun, and I felt it set up a lot of interesting things that I couldn't wait for them to further explore. And then to literally what he had Luke do, grab that lightsaber, like grab everything that 7 promised, and then just chuck it behind him. I was like, that's what you literally did to my hopes and dreams.
I mean, he
But
pretty much, it was like a mockumentary the whole entire time. It's like just making fun of Star Wars, but yeah, whatever, man. I'll never watch that trash again, so it's all good.
oh my god. Hey, at least in 2019 we got what is now like easily becoming my favorite piece of just Star Wars in general. The Mandalorian. So man, that third season just started, and it just reminded me, like, just in it's not even an hour episode. It's like 35 minutes. It just reminded me why I love Star Wars. It was just fun, man. It was super fun.
It was fun. I love the Mandalorian.
But yeah, 7 was all right. The rest were Garbo. Yeah, exactly. I hope we get to see more of Bridgehead City in the sequels. It would be cool to see Navi, led by Jake, using RDA vehicles and weapons they hijacked from them. Yeah, it'd be cool to kind of see some of this, like they're doing in the comics, where they're using, the leftover RDA equipment and everything to kind of combat them. Maybe it's something they'll do more, kind of, you know, if they think we have to basically fight fire with fire, like we got to use equipment. But who knows? It's probably why we're gonna get so many different tribes to get not have to rely on technology, and you're gonna get each tribe or each region introducing new fantastical ways to combat the RDA. Because yeah, I hope to see more of Bridgehead City for sure, because that's pretty fascinating. And we, like, once again, we hardly saw it in Avatar: The Way of Water, which was disappointing. But we got more to come. But yeah, man, you can't take that down with just the reef village or the reef people, Metkayina. You're gonna need more than that. So it's gonna be very interesting to see all that play out.
And surely we'll see more Bridgehead City. I mean, unless you're kind of more than just a casual fan, I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't even realize we saw it in the first movie. A lot of that was just kind of not really explained in very much detail unless you read and follow some of the supplemental materials.
Oh, you mean the second movie?
Oh, sorry. Get my numbers all confused.
Oh man,
I just
should
know we're
just
never
said
going to
that.
get 4 and 5
Oh my god.
because James has to film some movie about Hiroshima.
Oh
I'm
lord.
going to be 93 years old when 4 comes
Oh
out.
my.
James will be 137, only alive due to his vegan diet.
Oh my god. James cameraman just will forever be the one just holding the camera right there. Oh man. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know how long we'll wait on 4 and 5. All I do know is, like, I don't see. I could probably bet 100% we are not getting it in 2026. I will tell you that for sure. Anybody thinking it's still 2026 for 4, that is not gonna happen.
No, and we are fortunate that we actually, have somebody who cares about the franchise and even knew that maybe he needed a little help creating his ideas. And so it's great that we have a start and a finish, and we don't have to deal with what Star Wars went through. I do hope we get. I do hope we get 4 and 5 in a timely manner. I think it's kind of hard just because these movies take a long time to make. But hey, technology is always advancing, so. But I agree, man. There's no way we're gonna get the 4th one in 2026. That's a dream
No.
for sure. And the reason they
Yeah.
chose that date to begin with was because we're supposed to be getting a Star Wars movie, obviously, every other year, which clearly isn't happening.
Yeah, and honestly, I had grown that was my favorite part of the lead up to those movies, and I kind of wished, uh, not kind of, really wished that Avatar would have leaned into that, going into the second movie, because going into each of those, episode 7, 8, and 9, what I will give them is that, like, they really gave you a season of Star Wars. Like, there was just, they hyped it up with merchandise, with just everything. Like, it was kind of cool, and it almost felt like those years, like it was like Christmas became at the same time like just Star Wars time, and so I was really excited. I was like, that was the only thing I was like, oh man, I'm gonna miss that after episode 9. Quality of the movies aside, I loved, like, the feeling of it and just being in Star Wars mode for a few months. So I wish I wish Star Wars or Avatar would have leaned into that a little more. Like, really felt like if maybe the original plan for the high ground was to get it, one volume a month leading up to the movie, that would have felt really good. The with combine that with the merch that we did get and just a little bit more, really would have really felt really hyped up and everything, and just like a season of Avatar. So hopefully with 3, 4, and 5, we kind of get more of that.
Yeah, for sure. Because it seems like it took forever for him to start hyping Avatar 2, and then once it actually started, like the movie was there, and then shortly thereafter, it seems like we're just kind of back into the dead zone again. Just waiting for like frontiers or some information about when the home release will happen, or the next comic or a novel or something. Like we're just kind of in limbo waiting right now. And yeah, that's one thing that I do admire about Star Wars. Whether you like it, hate it, or somewhere in between, they really know how to hype up their movies and get it out there. And like you can't really go anywhere without seeing something Star Wars, especially when a new movie's coming out. So I do
Yeah,
kind of envy them in that regard. I'd love it if we couldn't go to Target or Walmart and not see something Avatar.
exactly. It just yesterday I went to the mall and I was talking to Drew. I was going to different stores, big stores in the mall, and you just see every other franchise, but already just a few months, nothing Avatar related. At least not this Avatar. It was like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then just Star Wars and anime stuff. So yeah, man, like you said, envious of that because also they have a lot of other stuff too, like books. Like they have tons of novels, and yeah, not every novel is going to be a slam dunk. You have many different writers and all that, but it's just I love it that it's more lore and it's just more to dive into if for people that just want to continue to be immersed in whatever franchise you're into. It's good to have the options of not just a big movie to look forward to, but maybe there's like a monthly comic series, which I also wish they would do. Like just every month we would have a new issue. Yeah, it's just 30 pages, but at least that once a month you're getting it, and it's new fresh story. So yeah, man, they give you comics, novels, games, everything. So we're still waiting for Frontiers, any news on that, the mobile game. We don't even know what's going on with comics at the moment. Like no word on what the next thing after the high ground is. So yeah, we're kind of just stuck in a limbo right now, man.
Yeah, that's really my least favorite part about the franchise. If I could be critical, is just it feels like there's not a whole lot of communication.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the other thing. Like maybe a little, a little them putting out a little statement here and there. Hey guys, we got kind of like we got X, X, and X in the works. So look out for that. Either very soon at some point this year or whatever. At least you would have more of an idea like what was the next things to kind of look forward to. So yeah, you get like you said, you kind of look at other franchises and you're like kind of envious sometimes. I mean, good thing that like me and you, we do have other interests. Here we only talk Avatar, but at least we do have other interests. So they do offer other things for us to kind of dive into in other franchises. Just wish this one kind of gave us a little more.
Well, hopefully all Avatar fans have other interests, seeing how long we waited between the first and second one. I mean, if you're solely devoted to this franchise, you spend a lot of time wasting your life away, that's for sure. But I love
Oh my
Avatar,
god!
but it does feel like we
Oh,
go through such long droughts.
it's nothing. A big pack of GAC won't fix.
Yeah, that GAC will get you through for sure, but you definitely need like a not V size backpack full.
Oh my god! It's like, oh no, James says he might work on another movie. Where's my big pack? Um, Brendan has asked a good question. He's like, any of you like TTRPGs, which are tabletop RPGs. And actually, I was just telling Drew this, I would love if we even had that. Like, um, because even for anybody that doesn't actually play them, the core, like, tabletop RPGs are kind of like your Dungeons and Dragons for anybody that doesn't know. But usually you could even dive into the core books and everything. And because in order to craft your, for the game master to craft your stories, they give you so much information about whatever particular worlds or whatever, that way the lore, the setting. So basically it would just be more that we can dive into as fans even if we don't play the actual, RPGs. Just reading the big core books and getting more official canon lore, that would even be fascinating. But so yeah, so really
I
hoping
agree
for something.
completely because I probably really wouldn't play it, but I would love getting more lore, like you said.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, they did. Marvel did announce. I was actually just telling Drew this today, right before the podcast. They did announce that now they're going to have a sub comics brand. It'll be labeled 20th Century Studios Comics, basically. And what they're going to do is take any of like the movie franchises that Disney now owns that were originally like Fox and 20th Century Studios Fox movies. They're starting with Planet of the Apes. They're going to have Alien and Predator comics. And who knows, it could be because Avatar was a Fox movie or Fox, 20th, and even right now it was put out as 20th Century Studios. So hopefully, maybe that even means more Avatar comics, maybe under that particular brand. And either Dark Horse loses the license, or we can potentially get two different sets of comics. Marvel producing some under that 20th Century Studios brand, and even Dark Horse. They do that right now with Star Wars. Star Wars has Marvel comics coming out, and then they still do Dark Horse comics as well. So that would be cool because Dark Horse can remain as the, like you said, Drew. Like they usually like to do a 3 to 4 part like little story, like a limited run. Whereas maybe the 20th Century Studio brand can give you like the monthly series that just keeps going.
Yeah, I would love nothing more than an ongoing series. The miniseries can be fun or they can be hit and miss. Like for me, Adapt or Die was.
No, we lost Drew. So we'll see if we can get Drew back shortly. But yeah, that's something I read today. So I was like, hopefully we get something. So I just love diving into whatever franchise I'm into. I mean, I'm into a lot of stuff. I just love to keep reading more, diving into comics, novels, and things like that, video games. Uh, I think Charlie Wood says, I think Drew was going to say Adapt or Die was a miss. Yeah, I have to really agree with that. Before it came out, I really thought it was going to maybe dive into the whole, Grace and the school and all the conflict that was, it hinted in the first Avatar with Neytiri's sister Sowanen and all that, but it ended up really not being that at all. Uh, Brandon Lewis says Drew got yanked by a recom squad. Oh, here we got Drew back. Lee. There we go. You got yanked by a recom squad, man. What's going on?
General Ardmore got me. Sorry, guys.
He said you need to stop talking bad about Avatar. What's going on, man?
Oh, I haven't
You
said
need too
anything
much.
bad about Avatar. Just keeping it real, guys. Just keeping it real. Nah, StreamYard messed up for me. Not sure what happened.
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. Juan says I love Planet of the Apes. Yeah, love the classic movies, and I really love the recent trilogy. Super excited for the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes that's coming out soon because it's gonna continue from where these recent trilogy left off, just many years later. So it's not Caesar, but it's like a descendant of Caesar, from what I understand. So that'll be cool too. So, but yeah,
Planet of the Who? That's all I got
you
to say about that.
don't really care for it.
Uh, yeah, I've never seen any of it except for the very first movie, which is old.
Old. So is the original Star Wars, but
Well, I didn't keep up with Planet of the Apes. I guess I kept up with Star Wars.
it's all good. I honestly didn't even discover them until adulthood. So as a kid, I think like you, it was just like, all right, I can get my science fiction fill with something like Star Wars.
Do you
Uh,
guys ever, this is just kind of a question for anybody, do you guys ever get annoyed when you're searching for Avatar products, but you always see like Avatar The Last Airbender?
oh my god!
Some random
To
bald guy
think,
with like a blue arrow on his head and a big shaggy looking dog
no,
thing.
no, guys, to think you would bring this up, Drew. He's just kind of mad because he has recently found out that I also like the other Avatar franchise. no.
No.
uh
I've been
and yeah, I
cursing
guess
that other franchise for years, man.
yeah, let's get a little feeling in the chat. Does anybody else have seen or like the other Avatar, like Avatar the Last Airbender? What are you guys' thoughts? Or just other franchises like I love both franchises and I will die on that hill. Thank you. Thank you. There's somebody uh, uh, that agrees with me, Drew, right off the bat. It's great, man. You got to give it a chance. Whenever you have like an hour and a half, do the first three episodes, the first three, and then report back. Oh, Brianna Brown, I love both guys. Do you know that right now Drew is hating that you're saying that, and I'm loving that you're saying that because
Yes,
I've wanted.
I despise the Airbender one because every time I search for something Avatar, all I see is Airbender stuff. So I've grown to just hate it, and I know literally nothing about it.
Oh man, it's okay. I will say like the time at the time that the original like the first Avatar movie was coming out, not the last Airbender movie, but like now you got me saying blue people Avatar. Uh, I also it was like I was into the movie, but like you said, anytime I researched it, it was like the other one was popping up. And I would say that even at the time, I was like, what is this? It doesn't look good. And just kind of wrote it off for years. Not until recently did I finally give it an honest, chance. And it's actually great, man. You get really great character development. They also just had a 3-part, story they wanted to tell. So it's really great. It's just 3 seasons. Bam. It's not like 10, 20 seasons of a show that just keeps going and going. So yeah, man, it was really good. And if you ever want to give it a chance, I know you're not really into anime or anything. This isn't anime. It is an American cartoon, just made with South Korean studio, but it has anime influences. Give it a chance, man.
Well,
Cool
Jerry,
martial
maybe
art.
you in the chat can go and start a Avatar: The Last Airbender podcast because if you love it so much.
Love it so much, huh? If I love it so much, it's kind of like I would like create another day of the week, just host another live stream for the other Avatar. Crazy, man.
And you can have
Crazy.
me on there, and I'll just not know anything. I'll just be like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
People do love seeing that. They love seeing like new, like I know it, but then a newcomer, they like getting like your opinion as you go on, like watching it. They love that stuff. Like new people that discover a new anime or something, and it's kind of like a name off the top of my head, Avatar, like Legacy.
Oh Lord,
Whoa, boom.
where's where's the gag at? I need it for real
Uh,
now.
Avatar Legacy, guys, coming to
Wow.
in another day of the week, brought to you by Discovering Pandora. Oh man.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Don't any of you guys support this, please. Downvote
And
it.
hey, we also love okay, I'll take it off the screen now. Oh god. Chat, don't crucify me, chat, okay? But I do like both. But anyways,
Well, looks like you have a bunch of followers who would love to see you do yet another podcast on the other avatar.
really, I haven't even I was doing something. Oh god. Hey. And we also didn't we just talk that we love the Mandalorian? It's kind of like, man, if we just had another show on, maybe this one you would love. You know, we could talk Mando and call it like, I don't know, Star Wars Mandoverse. Like, I don't know. These things are just oh man. I think I'm just having too much fun torturing Drew.
Too much
Too much
gack
fun.
tonight for Jerry for sure. I need some to get through all this Avatar The Last Airbender talk.
Uh Hey, no, but on a real note, I am gonna actually do a community post. I just hadn't done it yet. But I was gonna just kind of get a vibe in the room from the subscribers. Like if you guys wouldn't mind other days of the week, like aside from our weekly Friday, obviously, Avatar, like James Cameron's Avatar podcast. If you guys would like, me diving into other franchises and other days of the weeks, like in a live stream, like, I was gonna be like, let me know because I would love to dive into the other Avatar. I would love to dive into like Mandalorian stuff. Like there's so much things we can cover. And obviously, like somebody said right here, kind of in between we're waiting just to keep interest while we wait for more of the movies to come out and things like that. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
that'd be
gonna
a
do a
hard no
community
for me, Jerry.
it's all,
That's my
it's all
vote.
good. It's all good, Drew. Oh man.
Unsubscribe this guy. Man.
You would you wouldn't do a Mando one?
Uh while I do love The Mandalorian, I don't know. I would consider it, but
It's all good. It's
you
all
know,
good.
we can barely make it to this podcast on time, and we do it once a week sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just a little something I was gonna throw up a community post about just to kind of get your guys' feeling on it. Cause yeah, man, aside from, volume two and then Troop the First Flight, we'll have to at least after that, we are gonna start diving into the visual dictionary like we talked about and the art book, right? So we'll still have material for at least what the next few months or so. So that's really good. We have at least those kind of mapped out in a way.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff talk about for the rest of the year, and then I mean, really, it's looking like I hate to just like waste the year, but it's looking like 2024 will be pretty Avatar filled. We're gonna get Frontiers at some point, hopefully early in 2024, and then just leading all the way up until Avatar 3. So, but yeah, we've got plenty to talk about for the rest of 2023. But we do hope, obviously some new stuff pops up as well.
Yeah. And many comments back, somebody had mentioned, like, do we think that there are other bridgehead cities? And it'd be interesting. That's actually what I was going to say. Like, it'd be interesting to see if something like Frontier, I would say, like, maybe no, like, no other, because I think this is taking most of, like, the RDA's, like, infrastructure and everything just to get this particular city built. But I wouldn't discount, like, just other bases in other regions because we are gonna in Frontiers touch on like the whole Western frontier, of Pandora. Yet we do know that we will kind of see General Ardmore in the cutscenes. Most likely, like right now in the comics, like just maybe doing like some what is this, like some video messaging back and forth. But we'll probably have to contend with maybe another RDA base that's being built, albeit like a smaller one. But yeah, I don't really think anything else the size of Bridgehead, at least not at the moment. What do you think, Drew? Maybe like that's a super long term goal to build other cities like that around Pandora.
Yeah, I feel like Bridgehead kind of has a special place right now. So I think for at least right now, we won't be seeing any more cities of any kind of size like that. Kind of like how Hell's Gate was in the first movie. But I mean, in the future, yeah, I could definitely see that, especially if the Na'vi aren't able to slow down the humans' progression and even more come from Earth. So, but in Avatar 3, I don't think we will.
Yeah, no, I would say the immediate future in the movies probably not. Probably have to take a significant time jump. I know we're getting a 6 year one and four, but uh, who knows what the state of Bridgehead City will be by the time even four comes around. I mean, if they're still holding out strong and pretty much the Navi haven't really won that much, then it could be that the RDA has been taking more and more ground. So that could be an interesting thing too. Kind of like their territory continues to expand, and maybe it's just driving, our heroes just like to other regions and stuff like that. Maybe.
I did read that there's supposed to be something else. I don't know if it's a town or more of like an air temple, but General Aang is supposed to run it in southern Pandora.
Oh my god. Uh, See, for somebody who says you don't like the other one, you really have something against this little 12-year-old bald kid from the Last Airbender. Oh my god. Leave them alone, man. Leave them alone. It's not their fault that
Should
James Cameron is now introducing the same elements per movie.
should have left him in the iceberg. That's all I've got to say about that.
It's the iceberg that sunk James Cameron's Titanic. Oh my god. All right. Yes, Aang is older than 12 technically. Yes, he's technically at the time that he thaws out of there, or not thaws out, gets out of the iceberg, he's 112. So yes, Brianna Brown, I agree. Drew should watch the show. I wouldn't say one is like better than the other. I mean, they're both completely different. One's pretty much science fiction. The other one's like a completely different thing. Both sets give you characters that you love to follow and you want to see them progress and have good character arcs. We just at the moment wish we had more to kind of chew on in terms of the James Cameron Avatar, lore for these characters to see more. But hopefully we will, and hopefully uh, they'll present us with, flood us with novels and comics maybe in the future. We don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah, we sure hope so, because I mean, that's what makes franchises exciting. I love the movies, they're obviously a huge event, but you just really need those. You really need to expand the lore, expand the franchise, more stories. I mean, we don't even need stories that necessarily intersect with the movie or the characters in the movie. It could be
Yeah.
totally new characters, kind of like Frontiers is doing. I love stuff like that too. But this kind of gives you a chance to spend more time on Pandora and get to know even more clans, more Na'vi. So I hope there's more coming soon.
Exactly, like you said, even if it's a completely new, fresh set of characters, Navi or human, whatever. Just as long as you get to learn more about, just the story in general, the Pandora itself. Maybe there's other new creatures and in other regions, like maybe in I mean, we kind of already see it in Frontiers of Pandora trailer, that giant creature that's just kind of like just sleeping there. And I thought it was just like some weird giant tent or something until they kind of walked up to it and then the eye opened. So it's cool, very reminiscent, as majestic as like the Tulkuns that we have seen from the, you know, the reef villages and things like that. So yeah, just more lore, man. Like if we were in that little conference with James Cameron, it's like not really even really anything about Avatar 3. You do you, boo boo. But can we just get more in just of the franchise in general, like more stories, like more in between the movies? I think it's the thing. Like just so we don't have these waits. I mean, at least just for the next one, it's only about 2 years away, right? A little under 2 years. So not really long at all for another complete Avatar movie. So that's great.
Yeah, I just feel like James Cameron doesn't need any of our opinions on how to make his movies better. I want him to
Yeah.
just do what he feels like he should do because so far what he's doing resonates with me. But it's like you said, our only gripes are just things that have nothing to do with the movie. We just wanted it's really just because we have so much passion and love the franchise. We want to dive in even more than what the movies can do for us.
Yes, exactly. Like the keep your the movies, and those characters, you can keep those right there. You give us stories like he was saying that don't intersect with it at all, won't affect it at all, which is what Frontiers is going to do, and that's going to be great because you're going to make your own character. So it's great that you're going to basically live, your character story without you having to have played any events in, the movies we're going to see or anything like that. It's just completely untouched area of Pandora that we're not going to see in the movies. So that's going to be super interesting. Can't wait till that comes out, man. That's going to give us so much stuff to dive into.
Absolutely, that's going to be awesome. And I saw Link's Cat 1 had really the comment of the night. JC Avatar is
Oh
the
my
much
god.
better Avatar. So that should be highlighted on the screen right now. Thank you, Link's Cat.
Be highlighted for a quick second and then take it away because I do not. Only half of this co-hosting team agrees with that sentiment. Like I said, completely different entities. They're not really related at all, but they're good in their own right. Art is subjective, but you just don't like the art.
And does anybody have a PS5 for Awesome Lion 14? He's looking for one, but he wants it donated. So
God. I mean, I know they're easy to come by now. Yeah, I've been walking into Walmarts and Targets, and they just been there. So at least it's a lot easier to get now. I had gotten mine because Frontiers was like supposed to come out last year. So I had like gotten my PS5 because I knew it was next gen only, which I love because that means it's gonna be visually like amazing, which is what we expect from venturing into Pandora. But yeah, they should be a lot easier to come by. So you should have or hopefully get one by the time Frontiers comes out. You should be good.
yeah, that is something to keep in mind. Anybody that's still playing like the Xbox One or the PS4, like you're gonna have to upgrade to get Frontiers. So maybe you can save
Yeah,
up by the time Frontiers comes out and be able to buy one.
exactly. But all right, I think that'll do it for this stream. Unless any final thoughts from Drew. Uh, got anything else to add before we take off for tonight?
I'm going to reach out to the writer of this. I know it's based off of a James Cameron script, but I'm going to talk to the person who is actually the writer in this comic and see if we can find out what exactly GAC means or where that term came from because I'm genuinely curious. And The Last Airbender sucks. And really, apart from that, that's all I've got.
Oh my god. Oh man. Okay, so I will promote to not be hateful to any other franchise that also has Avatar in its name. uh, but no, no, seriously, thank you guys for joining us tonight. It was fun. I know we kind of cut it off before the space battle, but we'll give you that in full next Friday. So join us then. We'll possibly maybe have the entire rest of the comic if can fit it in the all the slides in. So yeah, uh, which better be next week. It will be. We're back on a consistent schedule every Friday. We're here at the same time. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and I had a blast. Especially just right off the bat, we started with GAC, and it just went on from there. And obviously, thank you, Drew, for joining me. Like always, man. Thank you. But yeah, so that'll do it for us tonight, and we'll see you guys next Friday with the rest of Volume 2.
See you guys.